Hey Cancer, this is Michael with your general reading for May 2022. I do hope that this reading finds you well and in good spirits. I have all of your cards already on the table, and it's definitely a very interesting read. May is quite intense astrologically speaking. There is a lot happening, but it actually looks like there is something you got up your sleeve, so I'm curious to talk about that with you. Before we get too far, however, I just want to thank all of you who have supported this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes, and an extra special thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon. It's with your continued support that I'm able to continue putting out these messages each and every month and do this work that I love. And on Patreon, I'm now offering weekly updates in addition to some exclusive live streams. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. You can also find my links for personal readings and Reiki sessions in the description box down below. I'm currently offering everything at 15% off until May 16th, the day of the eclipse. So if you want to book a reading or Reiki session with me, now is a great time to do that. Anyways, now that all the housekeeping is out of the way, I'm super eager to get into your cards, Cancer. The first one I actually have is the Nine of Wands, and this is showing up in the past. I feel like you've worked very hard. There is an energy of depletion with the Nine of Wands, and perhaps even feeling a bit defeated or a bit overwhelmed. Some of you may have worked so hard or just been so stressed out that this actually affected you physically. You might have been dealing with illness or injuries of some kind, or overall just feeling very low energy, very depleted. I feel like you were working very hard on something and you really tried making something work, or you've been trying to make something work. And it's just really kind of run you a bit ragged, if I'm being honest. I do have the Seven of Coins here as well, kind of coming out as clarity or lessons you have gained, advice for the future. And I really see you kind of in this Nine of Wands energy, this really exhausted and worn out energy, and asking yourself, is this really worth it? Can I really continue to do this to myself, or can I really continue to stay in this situation? Um, and it kind of does feel more like it's actually hard to tell if this is a relationship or a career. Maybe this is really just a whole bunch of things at once, actually. You've just been go, 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 or working in a way that's just not sustainable. This could be career, this could be relationship. I am actually getting some family influence that I will talk about in a minute here. Um, I feel like some of you also just want to do something different. And with the eclipse that we have in the middle of this month, the full moon, your ruling planet, or in this case, your ruling luminary, that is in the sign of its fall. The moon is in its fall in Scorpio. So this eclipse in particular does have a real sting to it. But this is really ruling over your ideas, your education, philosophy, spirituality, things that broaden your horizon. This also has to do with travel. And it kind of feels like this month there's a lot of focus for you. I mean, there is a lot of focus on career as well. Um, or really your dreams, I should say, your long-term aspirations. And it's like, I feel like you're asking yourself a question along the lines of, when do I get to do the stuff I want to do? And is the way I'm going about getting these things really worth my while? Now, there could be a perspective shift or some new information that is coming in for you. With this Ace of Swords, I actually am thinking of the eclipse. That is often a time of revelation, or things becoming obvious. Or maybe not obvious, but things from the shadow creeping up. And there could be some sort of new opportunity or some fresh break. And when I look at the Ace of Swords, you could be cutting yourself free from situations or relationships that are no longer serving you. Or this could just be a new insight or perspective. New information is coming. You don't have all the information yet. You don't have all of your cards on the table yet at the start of May. And it's going to be over the course of the month where things become clearer, or there's just going to be this moment where things click. The thing with the Ace of Swords, it's important to note that it is this sudden flash of insight, and just as suddenly as something can appear obvious, it can also vanish, and we can leave with a sense of wondering or questioning, did I really see what I saw? Or maybe things aren't so simple, maybe things aren't so clear-cut. But I feel like after some time, things are going to manifest for you, or they are going to go in the direction you want them to. I actually do want to clarify, what is this situation about? What is this Ace of Swords about? We have the Knight of Coins. So I actually do feel like there is something with work, or with the way you are moving through your life very dutifully. Your duties in general. This is also Virgo energy, so maybe this is involving a Virgo for some of you. Whatever it is that you've been kind of slow and steady on, there's suddenly a new doorway, a new path. A new opportunity presents itself. And it might not take the form you expect with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And we do have a lot of Aries energy this month. We have Jupiter entering Aries. We also do have Mars entering Aries as well. And this really affects the part of your chart that has to do with family. And so there may be some conflict coming from family. There may be some support on some level. I actually wonder if some of you do have like wealthy family members who might be helping you out. And if that's not the case, then it could be that you have this thing or this idea that people just don't understand. Your family doesn't understand. It kind of goes against your upbringing or the way you were told to live. That is something I kind of see here. There's something with family that feels really, really important this month. And you do have the Two of Swords and the Magician for the future, or where this is all leading. And the Two of Swords does speak of delays. Mercury is retrograde here, and Mercury is actually represented as the Magician in the major arcana, so it's interesting that this is showing up. And with Mercury retrograde in your 12th house and then your 11th house, this is really affecting your subconscious as well as your hopes, dreams, and social networks. This is very much a dreamy time for you, but things could be delayed. Your intuition could be telling you things that you might not fully understand, or you might not necessarily see right away. If you have this new opportunity for work, or this new opportunity for study, I really want you to consider that. Take this new opportunity, because I do think it will manifest into something even greater. And it's almost like this delayed gratification right now. And it's kind of hard because I feel like you've been persevering in a situation and you know on some level it's just not worth it. Or maybe you're in a situation that is stable. Some of you could be. But that's not worth what it does to you. And even if there is something about taking a pay cut or doing something that is a little less traditional, I actually feel like it pays off multifold in the long run. We do have the Four of Wands, celebration, achievement, and something that feels important to you. You know, this is a really specific message I'm getting, but I feel like some of you might have gotten your degree in one thing, and with this eclipse in Scorpio, it's like you're realizing you want to do something different. And I don't know if you're pursuing another path in terms of education, or there's just something that presents itself to you. Either way, your manifestations are coming. Your dreams can still come true. Maybe some of you are working on something that's non-traditional and you've been working really hard and you're wondering, is this going to pay off? I actually feel like it will in that case. And you will see signs of that this month, if that is true for you. And there will even be something to celebrate. There might be some sort of marker of success, or some indicator of success, some sort of achievement or accomplishment, some sort of goal that you will reach. That's only if you've been working on something that you really do enjoy and love. I want to pull a moon card for you now, especially being Cancer. You are ruled by the moon after all. Interesting. Mutable moon. Nothing is set in stone. This does make me feel like a lot of you are going to be altering your path in some way. You're not fixed in something just because you've put time, energy, and resources into it. There are things that can still change. And we do end off this month with a new moon in Gemini, and that is a mutable moon, and this is a very spiritual energy for you as well. And it's helping you adapt, it's helping you move and change with the sort of turbulent energy of this month. Some of you might actually be moving. I am getting that as well. Some of you could be relocating. And this is the thing that's coming up with home and family, potentially, is that you are relocating or moving homes, and you could be moving quite far. New moon in Capricorn, your hard work is paying off. You know, I mean, I think it's important to really ask yourself, what am I actually working towards? And if that seems like something that is worthwhile for you, then keep doing it. But if you're kind of at this point and you're like, I don't really know if this is really worth it, maybe I should try something different, you have the hard work and the ethic to make whatever you want happen. There is kind of a double message in this reading. I do feel like I'm speaking to two different groups here. So I apologize if the messages feel a little confusing or back and forth. And it's not very clear. Maybe re-watch this video or even watch another video for your moon or rising sign. There could be some more clarity for you there. I want to pull one more moon card. Supermoon. Emotions are running high. Yeah, no kidding. We have a lot happening this month. There's a lot of chaos happening this month. I'm just going to be blunt and straight with you. We have an eclipse. We have Mercury retrograde. Either one of these things can kind of make people bite their nails, and it's not as bad as it seems. I'm not saying it's like the end of the world or anything like that. It's not catastrophic, but emotions are definitely running high right now, and when our emotions are running high, we might not be seeing things clearly, and that could very well be this Two of Swords. It might be that your emotions are clouding your judgment, and you need to wait for your emotions to settle before you gain this sort of clarity on something, or your clarity could be coming and going this month. That's something to kind of keep in mind too, especially with Mercury retrograde. But you are quite intuitive, Cancer, and you are very intuitive this month in particular, especially with all of this energy in your 12th house. There really is this strong intuitive energy that you have access to. I feel like some of you too, if you're working as readers or working on something that you love, we've had this energy in Pisces for quite some time that's supporting you creatively or supporting you in a passion of some kind. I want to pull an animal card for you too. What is the animal wisdom for Cancer? What is the animal wisdom for Cancer? Show us clearly. We have Swan. Yeah, there's a lot of reflection this month. And maybe even a lot of mirroring or things being reflected back at you. And if you're having a lot of conflict, especially with family, I want you to really reflect and be like, what part of myself is showing up in my relationship with this person or this family member? Are my own doubts creeping up? What is this interaction making me aware of in myself? I actually do get something with writing, with Swan as well. Maybe some of you are writers or mystics because Swan is a mystical energy. Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm connecting with some kindred spirits right now, actually, sort of like mystics who are into writing. That's really important. And it is also important with Swan to give yourself some time alone to reflect and introspect, especially with Mercury retrograde, especially if there's family stuff. You might need to give yourself some time. Again, this is kind of a repeating message at this point. And we have the Gazelle. And Gazelle is this beautiful, graceful energy. Kind of does remind me of Swan in a way, because these are two beautiful, graceful, and even kind of otherworldly or very intuitively connected or spiritually dialed in energies. The thing with Gazelle is that it is so aware of things that it's almost bordering on hypervigilance. Gazelle is a prey animal after all. And so you could be looking for threats or looking for problems or making mountains out of molehills, so to speak. You could be seeing things that feel like really big obstacles, but I think it's not necessarily what it seems. And so it's important that you are taking care of yourself this month, that you are doing the things that you need to do for self-care, especially if you have been kind of run ragged or just going through a hard time. Definitely take care of yourself this month. And I feel like whatever it is that you've been manifesting or working towards, or whatever it is that you're desiring, it might present itself to you this month, and you might actually have to make a change to achieve this thing or to gain this thing, but it's what you've been hoping for. Are you ready to take it? Is a big question that is coming up with this cycle. And these eclipses will affect us for at least a few months, up to 6 months at a time. So keep this in mind. These energies that we are pulling for this month really are kind of rippling out, as the swan here, for several months. And so time is very fluid in this month's reading in particular. It always is in these general readings, but just keep in mind that the time frame for which these things are playing out could be different for you. I am getting something with Gemini season, though, which is the end of May to the end of June, right before Cancer season. I feel like something is manifesting for you then. And it feels like kind of a delayed thing, or something that you feel like it's coming, then you kind of lose track of it, and all of a sudden it's here. That's sort of the energy I'm getting. Anyways, Cancer, those are all the messages I have. I hope that this was helpful for you. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and you are welcome to check out the other videos if you want to get more clarity on something, or there's another video that pops out at you. Maybe there's a message for you there too. And of course, all of my links are in the description box down below. And again, I'm running my sale. All of my services are 15% off until May 16th, so it's a great time to book a reading or Reiki session, especially with all the crazy energy. Sometimes it's nice to just have a little energetic support to pivot and move with the energy of the collective. And I will see you all in the next month. Take care, Cancer, and have a happy and safe May.